Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, blue liquor shills, Dutch lacers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, migrants. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And it's really fascinating to watch Trump and his mass deportations and this global operation, not just the United States, but his global operation about going after migrants. So recently we had the announcement that he's going to take the worst of the worst and transfer them to the U.S. detention facilities at Guantanamo in Cuba. And on the surface, that really sets off some red flags because the just the word Guantanamo is so loaded. So my first reaction was a little shock and a little bit distasteful, but then again, it makes a lot of sense. So I have to accept that, and that pragmatically, it's probably a good idea, particularly when we have countries that don't want to take back some of the worst elements that have entered the United States. That brings up my second point. First of all, we had Colombia refusing to take a couple of plane loads of migrants back to Colombia, and Trump immediately played hardball and threatened to put tariffs on them and other restrictions on Colombia, and they quickly caved in and not only accepted those plane loads of migrants, but will be open for all further migrants being shipped off to Colombia. Now we have that same thing happening with Venezuela. Venezuela initially said that they were not going to accept migrants being shipped from the United States back to Venezuela, and now they've caved in as well, and now they will also accept all the migrants, Venezuelans that Trump wants to send back to Venezuela. So the message is very clear, and whether you like it or not, there's leadership now. He's playing hardball, and he will get what he wants. And in this case, it's a good thing to have these Venezuelan migrants sent back to Venezuela. So it's showing that Trump's willingness to immediately play hardball is going to pay off. And speaking of paying off, it's only been in office for 8 days, and we already have some 8,000 migrants rounded up, and obviously they're quickly being shipped off to their home countries again. We also have Mexico has caved in. At first, they said they wouldn't accept migrants being deported that belong to other countries, and now they've also caved in and said they will create facilities to keep migrants from all other countries in Mexico. And so Trump is serious, and everybody's getting the message pretty quick he's serious. Another example of the fact that the message is being driven home very quickly is that the amount of migrants coming to the U.S. border has dropped 60% already in only just 8 days. And so this is pretty dramatic. And we're also seeing a couple of counties in California that are basically denying being sanctuary cities anymore. So even though California is still being defiant and saying they will be a sanctuary state and their cities will be sanctuary cities, we're already having cities break away from that policy in the state. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Chicago obviously is not participating at this point. They didn't allow Chicago police being used to round up migrants in Chicago, but certainly New York has gotten on board. We're going to see a lot of other cities get on board, and I think the whole idea of sanctuary cities is probably going to end up in the dustbin as well. So once again, things are moving fast. There's a huge impact. Everybody knows Trump means business, and this whole migrant issue seems to be being turned around pretty quickly. I can't really complain. And there you have it. Migrants, the message is out there. I'm Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too.